guys, we're back with another episode, Grooming with the Fluffy Tails Groomer, and also your Diamond Groomer, our nonprofit organization, Diamond in the Rough. So today I have Miss Lily here. Miss Lily has came to me to get half of her coat taken off. She actually was shaved recently at another grooming shop. I didn't do it. So her coat hasn't really grown out that much. Before I actually start doing the haircut on Miss Lily, what I'm doing right now is I'm actually fluffing her out. I'm going through and fluffing her. So I had already dried her and fluffed her out. But what I'm doing is going through with my comb. Before you groom any breed, you want to make sure that you have gotten all the mats out of their coat. You do not, because especially with me having to use a comb on her, I will be using my 1/2 inch comb on her. What will happen is if all those mats are not out, and if there is any on her that I have missed, my comb will get stuck whenever I go through. So basically what I was doing right then is just combing through to make sure that I've gotten most of her mats or little tangles out. So sometimes the dogs can look like they're not matted, and they actually are. So the comb is always your best friend. A lot of times you hear brush, 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 brush. Yes, brushing is good, but your comb is going to be your best friend, because this comb is going to let you know if you got all of her mats out. So to begin with Miss Lily's haircut, I'm going to take her off the groomer's helper so you guys can see. You always, he said, she don't want to sit. So you always want to start at the back of her head and come down to the base of her tail. So what you're going to do, I'm going to loosen this up a little bit. I had to have her on the groomer's helper because she does not like the drying part. So you start with your clipper, turn your clippers on, start at the base up that way, and you come down. You always want to take long strokes whenever you are grooming a dog. You go from the head to the back. You want to always take long strokes whenever you are grooming your dogs. Whenever you're shaving, even if you're using a comb, you go with the growth of the hair. So her hair goes this way, so I would take my comb and go with the width of the hair. If you go backwards, it's going to take it shorter than what it normally is. So you don't want to actually do that, not unless you're trying to get it to go shorter. If you have a dog that has cowlicks, really bad cowlicks, with that situation, you definitely will go in the direction of the hair with that also. I'm going to go down her leg in just a few. I just go ahead and get those areas. When I get to this area, I do take my comb backwards, just because I like their undercarriage to be a little bit shorter than their top. So I do take my comb backwards in these areas underneath the tummy. And so now we're going to go down her leg. So usually what I do is I lift this. Let me turn you this way. I'll lift her little tail up and we'll start going down that booty. So all of her prep work I did before I actually started. So with her prep work, what that includes is brushing her out, combing her out, shaving her paw pads, shaving her sanitary, trimming her nails, and doing her ears. So you want to get those areas done first. Sometimes I will do the nails for last, just because the reason for being, some dogs may react from you doing their nails. And I don't want them to get stressed at the beginning of the groom. I don't want them to get stressed at all. But the thing is I leave the nails for last, because once I do those nails, then that means I'm done, and they don't have to sit there anymore. So with Lily, I am leaving her nails last because she does not like her nails being done. So you pick it up and you go down the hock of the leg. I got you. I got you. So there we go. We got this side done. I have to go and do this side. So I will do the same exact thing on this side. So we got that done. Now we got to get her front side done. So we've gotten this back. Now we have to get her front leg done. Whenever I'm shaving their legs, make sure that you're always holding onto their leg. You don't have to have a tight grip, but make sure that you do have it firmly in your hand, because a lot of times, sometimes the pet doesn't like for you to do their legs, and they will have a tendency to keep pulling them. You definitely need to make sure that you have a firm grip on their legs so you don't have to worry about possibly cutting them. And then what I'm doing now is I'm going on the inside of her leg. You want to make sure that you get all that hair on the elbow. Sometimes on the elbow, it leaves a bulk of hair. So you want to make sure that you're definitely getting all of that on the elbow. Even in the underarm right there, you don't want to go with your blade or anything, but I take my comb and just go backwards in that area also. Come here, baby. And then we're going to get the rest of this up here. So when you come to this area, how you know where to actually start and stop with the face, you're going to want to go from ear to ear. So you'll go from here to here. You want all this to come off. Remember, whenever you're doing the face, you go from ear to ear. That's how you you figure out how you're going to be able to get the face done. So you go underneath here and you go from ear to ear. So usually what I do is I lift this up. All this right here comes off. Go ahead and take the back. So even with that, you'll do from ear to ear to figure out like where you will start on the back. All right, so we got that done. So what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm actually going to do one side of Miss Lily's face for you. Let me make sure I got you in a direction where you can see. So first I start off by combing her ears out, making sure there's no mats or anything in there. Always make sure you're checking behind the ears whenever you're doing the face also, because a lot of times they have a tendency to have the mats behind the ears also. So you guys, you can hear that noise as I'm brushing her ear. That means that she's got some kind of tangles. As I get the tangles out even better, the noise will get lighter. See how lighter it's got? That means I'm working those mats out. So all those are gotten out. Now you want to always make sure that you're getting the face brushed out, the top of the head, and the face brushed out very, very good. Line brushing is always going to be your best friend. Go back through and comb and make sure you gotten all the little mats and everything out. So everything's combed out in her face. Let's see. So a lot of the times the pet parents do not want us to shave on the eyes. I don't do it anymore. When I first started learning how to groom, I did do it because that's how I was taught. But now I do more of a natural look. Give me 1 second. I need to get my finish shears. So I have my curved finish shears that I use for their faces. This is by Groomer Supply House. These are wonderful shears, guys. Let's see. Okay. So usually what I do is I comb everything out. The bridge of her nose, I comb it up. Everything else, I comb out to the side so I can trim. Using the thinner shears just give them more of a natural look. And I'll comb up the more. Make sure I got everything. I still got some here and some there that I need to trim. So now we've gotten that all out the way right now. So with her, usually I do a lot of scissoring on the face. Her mom wants her face a little bit shorter. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use my 3/4 comb on the top of her head. And what I do, most of my times when I do the top of the head, whatever blade I'm using, clipper, comb, I decide to use, I go backwards. So, if I was to actually use the actual comb that this is taking it to, it would be your 0 comb. So your A backwards is going to be equal out to a 0. And all I do is just take a lot of that length off the top of their head. And just come down the side to take some of that length off. Skim, I'm not pressing all the way down. I'm just skimming over on the side of her. When it's time to do this face, I'm going to do one side. So whenever you're doing their haircuts, this hair right here, you want to always get that hair trimmed up. So the hair in front of the ear, you always want to make sure that you trim that pretty good. Because you want the face to have a round, distinct look. You don't want it to look all out to the side and all that hair there, because that hair would not make it look distinct. So I'm just going to do this side. My other side I have not done. And there, basically what that does is give a definition between the face and the ear. So, if you guys can see, there's a definition there. That starts me with that. You see, I haven't done that side. Some people leave this. Now, you need to trim that. You want to have a definition between your dog's face and his ear. There you got it on both sides, see? We're not done trimming. So, excuse me. What I do is I take the front part of her, the front of her face, and I brush everything back towards her ear. Take everything back towards her ear. Move that ear out the way. I take my straight shears to do the face. A lot of people think that you use your curves. No, these straights is what get the definition on this dog's face. You want to make sure that you're getting all underneath there. Continue to keep combing. Your comb is going to always be your best friend with anything that you do. You want to make sure that you're getting underneath that chin real good with the hair that's hanging there. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take in front of the mouth and comb that back down. Now you can take your shears and start trimming up that area. And the little brown pieces of hair that be on a lot of these dogs from their food or water sitting there, you want to trim that. So I make sure that I'm holding the dog's mouth. And you go and you get them little brown little pieces of hair off in there. Y'all, the pet parents don't like to see that brown hair sitting up there. You take your comb to comb out to see if there's any pieces that you've actually missed. Then what I'll do also, as I said, I'm doing half of her face right now. You want to go ahead. I'm making sure I don't trim them eyelashes. So now what I can do is I can go back over it with my thinnest shears. So my thinnest shears is gonna make sure that I'm blending everything. See, she opened up her mouth now, so I can see a couple of more little brown pieces of hair that need to be trimmed off. Those pieces of hair up there, you just, how you do it is make sure that you keep in your hand on that lip, just to make sure that you're not cutting it. So now what I'm going to do is do my blending. So as you guys can see, I've done one half. Let me see. See if she'll turn around and look at you guys. Lily, look. So I've done this side isn't done. So basically what you would do is take this side and do it exactly like this one. You definitely always want to make sure that you're holding underneath the chin. Also what I do is right here, to give more definition, the little pieces of hair right there on top of the ear, I take that and I use my thinnest shears to blend that into her ear. And there we go. There we go, guys. So as I said, you would definitely take it and match up this side to this side. So we have a perfectly round face here, and this side we have not done. So all you would have to do is just match up this side to that side. Miss Lily did very, very good. So I'm going to definitely finish the rest of her haircut. I hope this video definitely helped you guys get a more understanding to certain parts of grooming, and there will be more videos coming. Thank you. Bye-bye.